Ladies and gentlemen, are you absolutely sick of how much aggro is on the standard ladder right now? I'm talking mono white, mono red, Azorius soldiers, Selesnya enchantments definitely is an aggro deck. What else do we got? Mono blue, that one's aggro deck, but you know, aggro. Are you sick of it? Because I have a solution for you. Shield Facts. Plus, the deck has a sick name, okay? So let's go over a couple things. Now, we're going to go over a couple things in this intro here. We're also going to go over some quick match statistics, but there's going to be a full breakdown of the statistics and of the deck at the end of the video. So if you want, skip forward to that if that's all you care about. There's a specific way to pilot this deck depending what your matchup is going to be. And this really matters if you're trying to seriously win and grind games out in Mythic. So I'm going to go into a deep breakdown of all that stuff at the end. But for now, let's talk about the core of the deck. We have 10 removal spells. Obviously, absolutely critical for smashing aggro. If you're going to be against aggro, you want to keep a hand with one. If you don't have any removal and you just keep like Bankbuster into Battle Thopper, no, you're going to get ran over, way too dangerous. So we're playing a Hostile Negotiations, 3 Stern Lessons, cards you don't really see, but that are really, really great, especially with Shieldred. Arcane Proxy, when you cast them for 7, which this deck actually casts them for 7 quite often. You get to target these two things as sources of card advantage. 2 copies of Hurkyl. This card is sick. It's a 2/4 that matches up amazingly against mono red and soldiers, and then it just provides card advantage as well as being a good thick body. Flesh Gorger, another one of those cards that almost always has been a 3/3. In this deck, half the time it's a 7/5. So we're going to break stuff, like I said, we're going to break this down a lot heavier at the end, but for now I just want to touch on how much we played this deck. I played 30 games in the Mythic ladder, and overall deteriorated a little bit because even though I went 16-14 with a +2 win rate, it's not enough. The way that Mythic works is you lose about 200 ranks for a loss and you gain about 150 for a win. So over time, you're going to lose more ranks than you win if you don't have like a 60% win rate. And here, this deck was 53%, which is still good, but it would have been higher if we didn't get unlucky and get matched up against so many control decks. And like I said, we're going to break it down in detail at the end. So for now, enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. See you soon. We go first. Oh, 2 lands. Can't keep 2 lands with this deck. Oh, man. Double mulligan on the play. Wow, 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 wow. I guess we got no choice now. Don't want to go to 4. Let's put down 1 Urza and 1 Mightstone since we're too far away from them. And we'll start with a slow land. Oh, God. Okay, I mean, it's possible. We could draw a land. Okay, Bankbuster's actually good. Gas. We need gas. Didn't get spell pierced. Is it mono blue? Is it mono blue? Nope. Is it soldiers? Alright, alright. That's rough. Hey, another land off the top. Let's go. Honestly, Hurkyl is decent here. We cast Hurkyl, and then that blocks the Thalia just so well. And if opponent does shoot down the Hurkyl with like Brutal Cathar, well, we'll cut it down next turn during combat. Maybe we do it on our turn just so that Brutal Cathar doesn't flip. Paying 3 life against soldiers, pretty relevant. Gotta always protect your life total as much as you can. Like, even 3 life matters. So it is the Brutal Cathar. So we'll take 2 here. And like I say, I think I'll just cut it down right now. Oh, nice. Could cut it down. Then at our end step, it's actually better to do it on our turn because Hurkyl will trigger, giving us card advantage. Nice. Another cut down or go for throat? I think go for throat. I could cast cut down now, though. Yeah, cut down. Cut down, baby. Oh, man. I'm glad that we get soldiers for the first match on the recording. I did just play 1 match, first match of the day just now. I kept a 2-lander with a Bankbuster, and I drew like 6 cards and no land, so I had to scoop. It was unfortunate, but Didn't happen again, so we're good. No need to cast the cut down right now. I'd rather draw with the Bankbuster if there's no threat. No threat of damage. Not to mention that the Harbin's probably a better target than the Thalia. The Thalia is quite annoying, makes a lot of our stuff cost more. I think I'll go land, pass the turn. I could go... Actually, I'm going to cast Battlethopter now, so that cut down grows the Battlethopter. And this is a cool interaction, right? Because it costs one more because of Thalia, it doesn't matter that it's a 1 mana spell. This just says, if the amount of mana spent is greater than his power, he gets a counter. So, we're going to kill the Thalia. Try to kill the Thalia. Grows the Liberator. So at least it trades with the Harbin. And then at our end step, we'll get the trigger from the Hurkyl. And hopefully hit another kill spell. It's a Gopher Throat. Okay, pretty sure all 4 Gopher Throats are on the bottom of our library now. But we still have 2 Infernal Grasps and 1 more cut down. No, 2 more cut down. This edited version of the deck I made has so much more cut down and like cheap removal. And it's massive. Massive for the performance of the deck. Skystrike Officer, everyone's least favorite soldier, comes in. It'll only draw opponent 1 card because we're going to go for throat it. But still, quite annoying. And again, we're going to go for throat on our own turn to get the Hurkyl trigger. Hurkyl, MVP. So far, if we get a Shieldred, Shieldred might take the MVP spot. Deck is, after all, named Shieldifax. Alright, like I said, go for throat on the officer. Get him out of here. Now I could flash in Flesh Gorger. So I think I'm going to attack with both and try to bait opponent into a bad attack here. Because he's going to tap all of his things, right? Almost all of his things. I might keep this to cycle it, since we're kind of almost out of gas. I could actually just play it out and then use my extra mana to draw with Bankbuster. This end of turn, we're going to get a Hurkyl trigger, plus we have mana to sink it to Bankbuster. So yeah, I'll play the land out, change my mind on that one. So we baited opponent here, because flashing in Flesh Gorger, instant speed grows the Battlethopter, and Harbin is dead and does not trade. Got him. Oh, that's Stern Lesson. So one of the things I love about Stern Lesson in this deck is sometimes you're almost dead and you have like this board state or even a couple power stones, you know, lots of mana. And you go Shieldred, Stern Lesson, and then you just gain life out of nowhere. Opponent like isn't able to out aggro you, and then you stabilize. Ooh! So we're definitely gonna go Shieldred first here. That grows the Liberator. Okay, how do we lose this? It's literally Harbin with a bunch of Myrel tokens, right? So let's attack with the Battlethopter. We'll keep our clock going. I could even attack with the Flesh Gorger, right? Honestly, I think I should. Not only do I gain 3 life there, but opponent doesn't want to double block anything because he's gonna... I mean, he could double block with Myrel and a token, and then only lose the token. But for each soldier he loses, he makes 1 soldier less when Myrel attacks. So that matters. I'll honestly trade a Flesh Gorger for a 1/1 and gain 3 life. That's how much I value getting soldiers off the board and how much I care about my life total. Hydration check, ladies and gentlemen. Water, one of the most important features to the everyday gamer. So opponent takes the blocks as we predicted, and we're fine with that. We got 2 blockers for Myrel. Oh, actually, I gotta draw the card now with Bankbuster. I almost passed the turn forgetting about the you can't activate abilities text, because you can't draw an opponent's turn or accrue. So I'll draw now, gain the life, play an extra land per turn. Could have kept that in hand for Stern Lesson, actually. Sometimes you want to keep a land to bin to this in case you draw 2 gas cards. Oh well. Whoops. No biggie. Oh well, whoops, no biggie. Harbin, there he is. The man himself. Opponent passes the turn. Yeah, Fortified Beach. Don't have the mana for that one, buddy. Nope. Oh, he does attack with the Myrel, so he'd rather lose Myrel and make 4 soldiers. Fair enough, buddy, fair enough. Alright, buddy, you got nothing to do with your priority here. You could pass it. You could pass it, my dude. Oh, he's gonna sack the Plaza to give it indestructible, perhaps? Okay, I see you, opponent. So he's on 11. Can we kill him? And are we dead to an attack? Two pretty important questions. Well, I think that answers that. And the answer's gonna be no. We're gonna live an attack here. We could draw 4 cards during combat. Oh no, we gotta do it now because Myrel, right? Damn it, dude. Damn Myrel. Okay, let's draw with this Bankbuster first, so that maybe we could draw a land to bin. Oh, a cut down. Nice. Haha. Stern Lesson next. Draw 2 more. If I discard, well, we got a Hurkyl already, so I'd rather go like that. Then I can play the land and do another Stern Lesson. And that's just massive. Discard a Swamp. And now we are out of gas, but we're also on 32 life. So even if opponent top decks... If even if opponent top deck himself a another Harbin, I don't think we're dead. Oh, he's got 17 damage with a top decked Hurkyl, or sorry, top decked Harbin. So do we attack with the shielded here? I know I'm getting in with the Battlethopter for sure. But does the shielded stay back? I think it probably should, because it's the only creature that blocks the Myrel well. So let's get in for 4 past the turn. And we get Infernal Grasp to hand. That should be the game now. Alright, a bit of a longer one, but I mean, hey, opponent had all of the good soldier stuff, right? Hit us with the Thalia turn 2, the Cathar turn 3, Skyspark Officer, 2 Harbins. The guy was doing stuff. Good activation of the Plaza of Heroes, the Myrel, you know. So that's his only win condition now, right? Is next turn he attacks with this army of soldiers, gives them all flying with another Harbin, or, you know, maybe he goes like... what's it called? Valiant Veteran, the one that is the Lord, and then fortified his beach all on top of him, giving them all 3/3. Oh, wow, he top deck another Myrel. I don't think it matters. No, he's gonna die to the shielded draw card trigger anyways. But we're not gonna take any chances here. We're gonna cast this guy for 7. One of the things in this deck is almost half the time you end up casting the Flesh Gorger, it's for 7 mana, which is just so awesome. So used to him being a 3/3. Get out of here, soldiers. Tier 1 deck, you bitch. Oh, sucker. We're just farming the aggro. Alright, so a decent little number here. Let's hopefully get matched up with some mono red, some more mono white soldiers, or more Azorius soldiers. Nice. You know what I meant. More Azorius soldiers. Alright, once again, we have a beautiful hand for smashing aggro. Let's just hope it's not mid-range. The 4th game in a row. Oh yeah, full disclosure. Keep getting matched with mid-range, and thus losing. But here we go. It's mono red, and they're on the play, so they're extra confident. Let's actually not cut down right now. Only has 2 mana, so he can't in response. Absolutely destroy us. Cut him down now. Only 1 mana, so Prowess Trigger won't save him. And a Flamebreaker, okay. Do we remove that right now? Or do we go for Throat? I mean, do we Bankbuster? I think we kill it right now. Or a Bankbuster now, and then I could cut it down next turn and draw with Bankbuster. That seems better. A little bit riskier. I mean, we're going to take probably 2 to 3 extra damage for doing it like that. Yeah, Reckless Impulse, 1 extra damage. Aha! Okay, he has the red mana. So we take 2 extra damage. Oh, no, 3, like we thought. 3 indeed. So we take 3 damage for not having killed the flame breather. Which is honestly a mistake. I regret doing it like that. Ramping is so good, though. I go Celestis, then cut down the flame breaker. Or I could just cut down and go for throat. I think it's probably to cut down and go for throat play. Let's cut this down right now. So opponent can't do anything on his turn in response. Like, you know, play with fire on our face to deal an extra point of damage with the siege trigger. So yes, that triggers. Then he plays his land. Does he crew the other land? Opponent does crew the other land. Do I kill the land? No, it's go for throat, so I can't anyways. That is an artifact creature. Fool. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, does he have... Oh, do I crew it and attack? No, that's too crazy. I crew it to block. Does he have something like... Play with fire into the other thing? Lightning strike. Of course he does. They always have it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, they always have it. Alright, well, that's okay. Celestis will also gain us life. Okay, land for turn. Celestis. What is it right now? It's daytime. Alright, well, let's pass and probably just Infernal Grasp, kill his thing. Would I kill the Foundry if he buffs it up? He does buff it up. Nice. So we'll take 4 damage total instead of 6. And opponent didn't cast anything, so it goes to night, which is great. We're going to take the action here. Discard a removal. Not the worst thing that could have happened. And let's go ahead and force it to become day. Take action. Let's discard this spider. Let's draw right now. Try to hit a land to hit for turn. And we miss, but it's okay. It goes back to night. We gain another life and filter another card. And we found a Shieldred by doing that. So see you later, Bank Buster. Actually, maybe see you later, Liberator. Nah, we don't need 2 Bank Busters in play. Having 1 in play is good enough. The next turn we go Shieldred and then have mana to dump into the Bank Buster. So we're down to 8. But, I mean, come on. If opponent has Play with Fire and Lightning Strike in hand for a second time in a game, then he just deserves to win. Because, I mean, he's got the God Draw, right? The nuts. The Omnipotent. As long as Shieldred lives this 1 turn, we're going to win. If she dies right now, there's a good chance we lose. And I mean, opponent, mono red, rank 400. It's got to be quite good, right? Okay, so he crews that. And I have to block, right? Because if he has Lightning Strike, yes, he killed Shielded after blocks. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't block with Shielded, I block with the Bank Buster. I think we're going to attack the mana or the 2/2 that's always there. I think that one. Goes to finish off the Bank Buster, and yeah. Alright, well, we're good. I'm pretty certain that we win now. We gain 2 life from drawing, thanks to Shieldred. There's another Shieldred off the drop, another 2 life. That's 4. 4 life she's gained us, and currently it's night. So I could go Battlethopter into Hurkyl to make it go to day. Let's smash in for 4 here, since we have blockers and we're going to be at 11. 12 because the extra life from the Celestis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how the deck is supposed to operate. Just gain a ton of life, mess up opponents seriously, and there you have it. There you have it. Honestly, I was on a heavy loss streak there, and I was worried. Get out of here, sucker. Right before 100. Get out of here. So once again, a pretty good hand for beating mono red. It is a 2-lander, but if it is mono red, we have a cut down into the grasp or any kind of aggro. And if they're not super aggressive because we're on the play and they just don't have a 1-drop, then we go Bank Buster pretty comfortably and start drawing. So it's going to be the Kumano. So I think we go land pass here. All right, that's good. A land off the top is great, honestly. Really, really good. Good draw deck. This deck is running 24 land, quite land heavy, but it needs to be. It's just the kind of deck it is. If we hit another land on top, it's good. Okay, shielded, also quite good. Go land and keep up mana for cut down and just cut down the faces when it flips. Probably the faces, unless maybe he plays like a Swift Spear and buffs it, or Feldon. Phoenix Check. Which one of these we hate more? Probably the Feldon, right? Because it can't be blocked very nicely. Let's do that. Play with the Flesh Gorger next turn for 3. Oh, we draw a cut down. Let's go Bank Buster instead, since we can still cut down. I like that a lot more. So opponent gonna crew up and attack. And I think we're gonna want to attack his mana here, right? Because we could either kill either of these. By attacking his mana, I think it's better. What do we hit off the top? Removal? That's removal. Yep, I'm gonna do that for sure. It's not the Flesh Gorger, but the problem with playing Flesh Gorger is if he just has Lightning Strike and he Lightning Strikes it, then Flesh Gorger does nothing except, you know, they pay ward 3, they lose 3 life. At least this way. Doesn't matter what opponent has in hand. We don't guarantee lose life. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, the floor isn't as low with the play we went for. We're not going to attack or crew. Crew to attack. In case he has another Feldon or untapped creature, haste creature. And he Lightning Strikes my face, which means he must have another Lightning Strike in hand to go Phoenix Check into Lightning Strike for lethal. And the Festivities. That is not lethal, sir. Okay. Okay. Should have killed the Flesh Gorger, bro. Okay, we'll gain 3 life from Flesh Gorger. Now, I'm pretty sure we just shielded, but let's think about it for a moment. What am I thinking about? Obviously, shielded's the play here. Proves the Bank Buster. If there's a haster, it blocks well. That's 5 toughness. Gonna start gaining us even more life. Yes! Yes! 2 in a row. We're farming mono red now. We're getting back into the numbers. Oh man, I was getting so tilted earlier. Yes, I had fun smashing mono red. Are you kidding me? It was mono red, dude. Yeah, so you know what I want now? I want mono white soldiers. I want to have it all, okay? I beat Azoria soldiers. I beat mono red twice in a row. Smash, smash. Give me the other dick. All right? Okay. Lost twice in a row to mid-range decks. Please, please, please let it be aggro. Honestly, this is like the best hand I've had for a mid-range matchup. But what if it's aggro this time and I keep this one and then I get dumpstered? Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm making myself mad just thinking about it. Just thinking about it, stressing me out, boys. I mean, it's 3 lands. We have 10 removal spells in the deck with a Bank Buster in hand. We're going to draw into some good stuff, okay? Let's believe his hand. It's got the Bank Buster into Battle Thopter, into Shieldred, into Stern Lesson to gain a bunch of life. It's quite good. And it's mono blue. This is the aggro deck. Not really aggro, but it's pretty much aggro. deck that we do the worst against. And he hits the transform on the first try. Lucky, lucky opponent. Very lucky. And I guess we just try to resolve a Flesh Gorger here. No, we should pass the turn. Flash in the Liberator instead. Gotta know how to play against the mono blue. Don't be too hasty, just take the 3 damage. Opponent with a 1 mana 1/1. It's done 6 damage on turn 2. Turn 3. Liberator. Resolves. That's good. Fading Hope. Opponent. Do it. Rorschach, anybody? Do it. Alright, Fading Hope. There it is. Took you long enough there, Jim. Bronze Spider? Not what we're looking for here. God, why can't we just draw lands when we need them? I guess it's going to be the Thron Spider. Opponent doesn't have the mana to counter it. It blocks the Aberration quite well. And it makes the Power Stone, so we can start drawing with Bankbuster a turn sooner. Need a land. But even if we hit a land, we're probably going to have to go Shielded next. If opponent ever taps out again to... God, so much to think about. Draw an untapped land. Flash in Battle Thopter on opponent's turn, make him use counter magic. Alright, well, step 1 was draw an untapped land, and we failed at that. Should I draw with Bankbuster right now? I think so. Gotta try to hit that land. Ridiculous. It's not the worst thing we could have drawn. At least it's an Infernal Grasp that kills the Aberration. Delver. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you know it as. It's flipped, so I will call it Aberration. Opponent surely will use counter magic this time in response. Okay, he's got 1 mana available. It could be Spell Pierce. Oh, yeah, it could be Spell Pierce, but let's do it. Let's do it. Before he gets to consider and draw, play a land, and then have 2 mana available. Spell Pierce, you nasty, nasty boy, opponent. You nasty, nasty boy. Anyone that plays Spell Pierce is nasty. Bet your shit stinks, opponent. What? I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? No. Movie genius. So what do? Resolve Shieldred. Could just get Fading Hope back to our hand, and then we took a whole turn to do nothing, essentially. But, I mean, that's a really good win condition. Otherwise, I passed here. I have 5 mana, so I could go Liberator, 2 mana to draw with Bankbuster, and then just keep trying to outvalue opponent while he can't attack into the Thron Spider. It's a bit slow and not how I like to win these games with this deck. This deck is really meant to, like, trade quite early, then gain life, and then outvalue once opponent's out of gas. But we're gonna take the other route here where we try to outgas opponent. So let's flash this in. Hopefully get some counter magic out of the way for Shieldred. We have 2 mana to pay for Make Disappear. That could be what opponent's thinking about. So that resolves. Let's draw. And it's another Bankbuster. Nice. Good stuff. Let us think for a moment. 5 lands, plus a Power Stone, 6 mana. Could just pass and go Flesh Gorger on opponent's turn. I can attack with the Liberator. Then if he blocks, buff it mid-combat with one Flesh Gorger. Even if it gets countered, it'll trade because this is on cast. Alright, let's do it. So he goes for the trade. Liberator. Grows at instant speed. Does he Fading Hope our Liberator? Does he allow the trait to happen? Nice. Shout out to the Thrawn Spider that held back that 3/2 flyer for like 4 turns in a row. Honestly, like, MVP Thrawn Spider, thank you so much. You're a hero. You should be praised for what you've done. I'm gonna pass the turn and just draw with Bankbuster. Maybe even Stern Lesson, actually. Stern Lesson's probably better. So he thirsts, discards a couple of Delvers. Probably really trying to find that land. Needed it once he did find it. It's snowing quite a lot outside. It's finally sticking to the roof. You guys want to have a little peeksies out there while we wait for opponent's turn? Isn't that pretty? Oh, beautiful Canadian winter. About time. Okay, so opponent resolves a Djinn. No problemo. We're going to draw some removal for that right here. Trust me. You guys believe in me? No way opponent counters this. Okay, well, it's not removal. But it's pretty good. Maybe I should have played the other Flesh Gorger last turn instead of drawing. Okay, opponent's got something holding priority. Probably another Fading Hope, but it could be like an Impulse. Surely has some counter magic. But it's got to be Essence Scatter for shielded at this point. Oh, that's good. Can I go? I can. Okay, so I'm going to try to get him to counter this first, honestly. And if he counters it, we get to kill his Djinn with Arcane Proxy. Essence Scatter? Yeah, Scatter Ray. Got him, ladies and gentlemen. You've activated my trap card. Wait, that's not the right game. Arcane Proxy. Target the removal spell. Cast it for free. Definitely did pay 3 mana for Arcane Proxy, so not really free. And honestly, let's crew up with these two. Smash for 7. 7, of course, being a premium number to smash with because it's lethal in 3. 7, 14, 21 for those of you that can't math. You're very welcome. Okay, what are we going to do here? Let's start with crew and attack. See if opponent's going to dump some mana into returning stuff to hand. Slash phasing out his Djinn. No, he's going to take 7 again. So it goes down to 6, so he's quite close to dead. So let's try to resolve this Hurkyl. And then probably just a Flesh Gorger, honestly. Best part here is we have 2 mana to pay with pay for Make Disappear, because Power Stones are awesome. Not exactly the aggro deck we were looking to smash today, but I'll take a win against Mono Blue. Honestly. Screw those guys. Unless you, as the viewer, play Mono Blue, in which case I loved Mono Blue. Mono Blue was great, and I love you guys. Honestly, Mono Blue's a great thing. Should have cast this Bankbuster. Would have triggered the Hurkyl at the end step. I was too busy sucking you guys off to focus on what I'm doing. I know I talk a lot of shit to Counterspell players, but gosh, doesn't it feel so good to beat them when they scoop it up. Alright, back to some numbers here. You know, it's just part of the game, right? You're going to lose to the decks that counter you sometimes, but it feels good to beat Mono Blue because that is not our strongest matchup. And yeah, it's frustrating to lose to Mono Counterspells. I mean, Mono Blue. And we are up against number 279, quite a high ranked player here. Would love to beat him, probably playing aggro, ranked up so high. And I don't think we can afford to keep this despite the Gopher Throat because 2 lands and nothing to draw more. Kind of risky. I mean, 42% chance to draw a land is high though. But if I miss twice, it's probably just going to be the game, so let's not risk it. This is much better. Let's put back the Hostile Negotiations. Love the card, quite spicy, don't really see it anywhere. Except in my deck. But not gonna keep it just for that. So no targets for Gopher Throat, so we'll play out the Bankbuster. And is it aggro or is it mono black control? Let's not sit around and find out. Let's cast this Bankbuster. Or sorry, this Flesh Gorger. Crew up the Bankbuster and smash in for 4. Opponent has Infernal Grasp. Does he target the Bankbuster or the Flesh Gorge? Either way is not great for him. The fact that he takes 4 makes me think it's going to be the Flesh Gorger. Nothing. He doesn't target anything. Unusual. Opponent hitting full control just to trip us out, perhaps. Okay, let's do this. Smash him for 3 damage. And then I'm honestly fine with Gopher Throat on the Graveyard Glutton. And discarding Rafine's Tower. I'm also kind of fine with just taking 4. If he does the attack, which I mean, I'm sure he will. If he plays a second attack, second creature to double block the Flesh Gorger, then perhaps I'll Gopher Throat it. But I think we're in no hurry here. Let's draw. Let's make our next decision with as much information as we can to cut down. I mean, it's just 4 damage, right? Let's just take 4. Screw it. There's a Sorin. Okay. -2. +1. Okay, opponent. I see you. I see you. I think we just Gopher Throat it. We're gonna lose the Rafine's Tower, no big deal. And off the top, another Bankbuster. It's not really what we're looking for. Let's attack opponent's face here. Make him -2 the Sorin, because we really want to cut it down. Play this land. Let's play this Bankbuster. Then we could draw with the first Bankbuster, cut down with the 3 mana we have available. That's a good play. Opponent is on mono black control. Shit. No way he pluses it. Yeah, okay. If he plussed it, and I would have been shocked. I would have been like, damn, this guy crazy. Let's cut that down. You're out of here, Jim. Alright, let's draw with Bankbuster. Let's crew this Bankbuster with this 1/1. Let's finish off the Sorin. I really liked the way we played around that Sorin there, attacking face and ignoring him, making him -2 so that he was worried about his life total. And let's play an island and just pass with the Stern Lesson up. Pretty good position for us here with opponent on 10 and our board state. But also quite scary. Because, I mean, it's control and we are not meant to beat control. I was saying mid-range, but honestly, look at this stuff. Door and board wipe. Kind of board wipe value sorcery. Bankbuster. I think it's time to face the music and acknowledge that this is control, not mid-range. Yeah, swamp is fine. Nice, dude. Nice. Let's do land. Flesh Gorger for 7. No, let's do Flesh Gorger for 3 and Hurkyl. That way we play around Invoke Despair. If opponent invokes Despair while we have Flesh Gorger for 7, we basically wasted our entire turn. And then plus doing it this way, we can attack with the Bankbuster that has no counters on it, leave 2 mana up to draw with the second Bankbuster. So, opponent down to 6. Yes, boys. Yes. Damn, that snow is really sticking to the ground now. It's come down in huge flakes. Huge, huge snowflakes, boys. Let's have a peek. You see those? Isn't that just gorgeous? So opponent gets a shielder down. Pretty good for him. Is it enough to save him? Okay, he has a Flesh Gorger of his own as well. Gotta draw something here. I should have drawn before the Shielded resolved. I was too busy thinking about the stupid snow outside. Idiot. Draw for turn. Arcane Proxy. Nice! Oh man, I think that's gonna do it. Right here and now. Maybe not. Let's go Arcane Proxy just for 3. I love this interaction here. It hasn't come up yet this video, so I'm really glad that it comes up now in our final game. Win or lose. You Arcane Proxy, and then you cast something for free from the graveyard with it, and that triggers the Hurkyl because it doesn't say cast from hand or anything. It's just as long as you cast a thing, then this resolves. And then let's crew this guy with these two. Because the Flesh Gorger has Menace, it's actually really beneficial to attack with 2 creatures, because he can't block them both. And now he's torn. He's like, do I double block the Flesh Gorger and gain 3, lose 4? He does, which is fine. So these Flesh Gorgers trade, which we honestly want, because we don't want opponent to gain any more life by that thing sticking around. And in this position, Flesh Gorger is only going to be a 3/3, so I think I'd rather draw with the Bankbuster. How do we lose this game? If I play the Flesh Gorger out and opponent plays some sort of full board wipe, I don't even know what, but something, could lose. Plus we drew a Stern Lesson. I think we got him, boys. I think we got him. Invoke Despair. Yeah, it's a good card. Maybe we'll flash in a Battle Thopter and sack that. Not gonna happen. No problem. Let's lose this Arcane Proxy. We just gotta draw something to crew the second Bankbuster. We have the Flesh Gorger to crew the first one. Alright, go for Throat. Nice. Well, we can Stern Lesson right now. Oh, come on. Something, please, deck. Something to crew the second Bankbuster. Please. Please. No. Okay. Take our time here and think. Flesh Gorger for 3 crews this Bankbuster 100%. Puts opponent to 1. So we need 3 mana for that. We could go 2 mana here and then draw with this one to potentially draw something else that can crew the other Bankbuster. The one that doesn't have sickness. Alright, well, we whiff. So now we're going to stick to the original plan. After trying to go for lethal, we're going to just go ahead and say, okay, fine. We'll get in for just 4. And we keep up the card draw from this Bankbuster, which is going to create a pilot and a treasure token at the end of turn. So we should for sure have him next turn, but I mean, hey, never count opponent out of the game. Not rank 279. I want to say good game, but I don't want to be disrespectful here. It's not a good disrespect good game. It's like a genuine good game, sir. Shake hands. However, lack of context via texting and games like this results in, you know, people misinterpreting the message as some toxic bullshit, which it is certainly not my intention to be a toxic bullshitter. So I'm rambling again. Hot damn. Hey, Liliana. Honestly, Liliana doesn't quite do it, but it's a good start. Let's draw with this. Then let's crew with this. And we're going to sack this Bankbuster. Now we have 2 things that crew Bankbusters and 2 things that are lethal. If opponent has like a double malicious malfunction where he negs 2, neg 2, everything, then it was a misplay and we should have been more patient. But I feel like this is a higher upside. Double malicious malfunction, very unlikely when opponents already cast one. This way we play around Invoke Despair really well. Yeah, if it was double Malicious Malfunction, he would have done it by now. I'm really trying to play to his outs. And in response, we're going to cut it down our own thing so he doesn't get into life. Good game, sir. It was a pleasure to play against you, Verse Up. Yes! Finishing off with a win, not against aggro, but against mid-range, which I lost the games to all day long. And I say mid-range, that was control, even worse than mid-range. Opponent, not playing mono blue, but still nasty, nasty player. Get out of here. Tier 1 decks, rank 279. It was a pleasure, good sir. It was a pleasure. Well, thank you very much for watching. We're going to do a nice outro here and go over some important factors of the deck. Stay tuned. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, let's break down Sheoldred facts. First of all, we got to talk about Sheoldred, the namesake card of the deck. Drawing extra cards with Stern Lesson and Bankbuster to gain additional life each turn against an aggro deck is one of the best win conditions. If you could resolve Sheoldred on 4, they either have to cast 2 cards to kill it, and if they don't, then you just start gaining too much life and they're too far behind now, right? Arcane Proxy coming down on 3, turn 3, to kill a creature and create a body is massive. Even if it's mono red and they have End the Festivities, they kill it for 1 mana, it's still a win because Arcane Proxy did come in and kill a thing. Flesh Gorger, often a 3/3 lifelink, which is huge. Half the time, a 7/5 in this deck. Anytime you resolve a 7/5 lifelink creature against an aggro deck, it's almost always a win. Not always against Azoria soldiers. They can sometimes squeak it out with the Skystrike Officer, but still, most of the time, this card is just massive. Gotta give a shout out to the Thrawn Spider, okay? The Power Stone, yes, it's relevant. The secondary ability, sometimes you get to the board stall, you just barely survive against mono red or against anyone, and you start dumping 7 mana into him and revealing cards and hitting, you know, gas. Weak Stone, Gorger, Proxy, Battlethopter, you know, there's lots of hits. But sometimes it's just a 2/4 with reach that holds back a Delver that flipped. And you guys saw, like, huge MVP. You absolutely won us that game. It was turn 2, that thing flipped over. We took 3 in the air twice, and then opponent just could not get through the Thrawn Spider at all. Didn't want to return it to her hand. So it was really, really the big MVP that game. Definitely won it for us. The 10 removal is super important. You need removal in your hand if you're going to keep. If it's aggro and you don't have removal, you may as well be playing a mid-range deck, right? Like, it's just too slow. The Hurkyl, being a body with a big butt, right? Like a 4 toughness butt, it's going to take, again, most of the time 2 removal spells or a block and a removal spell. It's just a win, right? And then not to mention, it's a card advantage engine in a good bot locker. So Master Wizard, aptly named, absolutely a master tier card. Hostile Negotiations, okay? This card is fun to talk about. It's not a good card because good cards don't let your opponent make any decision. And in this one, opponent makes a decision. However, I'm going to make an argument why this is a good card, okay? And you guys can argue with me all you want, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinions, and you're probably right. I'm too stubborn to admit it. I just like the way this card plays. This card makes your opponent make a decision, but only with half the information. A lot of the times you show opponent the best pile, and then they think, well, this is what they're showing me, so maybe there's something even worse underneath it. But that's usually when the best pile isn't that great. Then other times, if you have 2 good piles, you show them the worst pile, and then opponent thinks, oh man, I can't give him a Bankbuster and a removal spell, 3rd card's a land. And then he ends up giving you, you know, Sheoldred, Bankbuster, and a land, which is what you wanted, you know? So the fact that half the time it's kind of stumbling on my words here. Pardon me, boys, ladies and gentlemen, I should say. Half the time you play it differently. Opponent doesn't know. Opponent doesn't have the full information. So even though you're giving them the option to make a decision, they often make the wrong decision based on what pile you get to show them. So because you get the decision first, I feel like it makes this card pretty good. And then as well as it's in the 4-mana slot, and Memory Deluge can't get hit by Arcane Proxy, which is why it's in the deck. Okay, I agree that Memory Deluge is a better control advantage card than Hostile Negotiations, but this is just a fun card, a little Fact or Fiction vibe, you know, if you know what I mean. All right, so that's gonna be it for the deck tech here. Let's talk about the wins really quick on this page. So 16-4, 30 games. It's a ton of games to have played, and don't mind this. This includes the original version of the deck, which was not running enough cut downs. So against Mono Red, 6-4, Mono Black, these 2 losses were both control. So it doesn't really count. These 2 losses were both Mono White mid-range. I think one of these losses was an Azorius control deck, and these were all Mono Blue aggro. One of these was a combo deck, like Chaos Transformation or something. The other one was Werewolves. No, I'm wrong. I got beaten by a Gruul aggro deck that had Thundering Raiju on 4 that just KO'd me, but I beat a really good Werewolves deck that was playing the Planeswalker Werewolf and giving all the flash, and he was playing like a mid-range deck, and it was really close to a loss. And then, of course, we had a couple losses against control. I kind of broke down the numbers better up here, where we were 1-7 versus control decks, and then 16-4 against aggro decks. So you can see we did get matched with a lot more aggro than we did control, because aggro is so prevalent on the ladder, and you're never going to have a 100% win rate. Like, there was this one game, the first game I played today here against this mono black deck, where we only got to see 2 cards from opponent's deck, and then he started smashing us because I just didn't draw a land for 4 turns. And then that was it. You know, I also had a Bankbuster in play, and that's literally all I did. I drew 2 cards off Bankbuster and 3 cards for turn, and after drawing 5 cards and having no lands in play, it was just the game. So that'll happen sometimes, so you can't really treat the 16-4 as like, you know, I mean, 16-4 is still a good enough record against aggro to really prove that this deck farms aggro well, and that's exactly what it does. If you do get matched up against mid-range or control with this deck, it's not a big deal. You could try to win. You saw squeeze out a win at the end of this video against a pretty good control deck. This guy here, he was ranked 200 something, quite good, quite control-y, and we managed to win. But a lot of times, it'll be better off to just save your energy, scoop him up, and try to get matched up with aggro, since there is so much more aggro around, and that's what the deck is for. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys try it out for yourselves and get to smash some really frustrating decks with it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye-bye.